Unit 7. Reading 1.
Ocean discoveries. We think of Earth as largely explored. Most people would say that there can't be many more discoveries to be made. However, about 70% of Earth's surface is covered by water, and it may be surprising to hear that less than 5% of the world's oceans have been explored. New species of organisms are being discovered in the oceans every year, particularly in the deep ocean. There is still much to discover about the geographical features of many areas of the oceans as well. Because they have developed new technologies, scientists are now better able to explore the oceans. These technologies, including improved DNA sequencing, better satellite data, and more sophisticated underwater vehicles, have resulted in exciting new discoveries with implications for all of us. Here are two such discoveries. A coral reef. Imagine the excitement of finding a previously unknown coral reef. This is exactly what happened in the summer of 2018. A deep-sea expedition discovered a large coral reef in the Atlantic Ocean. Scientists on the research vessel Atlantis discovered the deep-sea stony coral about 257 kilometers, 160 miles from shore near the southeastern part of the U.S. Using the human-operated vehicle HOV Alvin, the crew came upon the unexpected site on the sea bottom at about 0.8 kilometers, 0.5 miles below the ocean surface. Growing on the skeletal remains of dead coral was a huge population of Lophelia pertusa, a branching cold-water white coral. These corals have probably been growing in the area for millennia, speculates lead scientist Eric Cordes, an associate professor of biology at Temple University in Philadelphia. The corals were found northwest of coral-covered mounds discovered earlier in the summer when the NOAA ship Okeanos Explorer was mapping the ocean floor. Those mounds are 80 to 90 meters, 262 to 295 feet high. Together, the areas explored by the two research vessels covered about 137 kilometers, 85 miles of living coral. Cordes, 2018. The scientists on the Atlantis who explored the deep-sea habitat where the coral was found plan to spend the next few years examining the specimens they collected there. What are the implications of this find? The scientists hope to better predict how the organisms that live there, many of them fragile, might be impacted by human activity. Existing far from shore and at such a depth makes the coral reef unique. Recounting the scientists' excitement upon finding a pristine coral reef, Cordes said, "There aren't many of those left on Earth, and we just found a big one. This is a really big finding. I'm thrilled." Adding to their excitement is the fact that extensive connected reefs like this one are typically more resilient in the face of environmental change. And because these coral reefs create habitats for diverse communities of invertebrates and fish and help recycle nutrients from organic matter through mixing and upwelling, they might help improve the health of not only the East Coast ecosystem, but also the larger Atlantic ecosystem. Should we be excited too? A new continent. Given the vastness of the Atlantic Ocean alone, perhaps discovering a new stretch of coral is not so surprising after all. But discovering a whole new continent? Scientists have proposed a new continent in the southwest Pacific Ocean, a landmass two-thirds the size of Australia. This landmass, named Zealandia, is thought to have separated from Australia and Antarctica about 80 million years ago, as the supercontinent known as Gondwana broke up. It has gone through dramatic changes since then, and is today about 94% submerged almost a mile deep. Today, only New Zealand and New Caledonia remain above the surface of the ocean. Researchers have published evidence in the journal GSA Today that the 4.9 million square kilometer, 1.9 million square mile mass is one contiguous piece of the continental crust that is distinct from the Australian continent. Nick Mortimer of the GNS Science Research Institute in Dunedin, New Zealand, was the lead author of the paper titled Zealandia, Earth's Hidden Continent. The paper, published in the spring of 2017, claims that new discoveries and evidence, gathered through empirical observation and description, are sufficient to prove that Zealandia is a continent. Mortimer et al., 2017. In the summer of that same year, an international research team of 32 scientists spent 9 weeks aboard the research vessel JOIDES Resolution in the first extensive survey of Zealandia. They took sediment core samples at different depths. Co-chief scientist Gerald Dickens of Rice University in Houston, Texas, said, "More than 8,000 specimens were studied, and several hundred fossil species were identified." Bird, 2017. He said that expedition scientists made significant new fossil discoveries. These discoveries provided additional evidence of the geographical history of Zealandia. The samples proved that Zealandia was not always as deep as it is today, and revealed that the geography and climate of Zealandia were very different in the past. There is disagreement among scientists on the definition of continent and whether a land mass meets the criteria to be recognized as a continent. Mortimer and his co-authors argue, currently used conventions and definitions of continental crust, continents, and microcontinents require no modification to accommodate Zealandia. It remains to be seen if Zealandia appears on future maps as a new continent. What is the significance of finding a new continent? Some scientists believe such a discovery has implications for our understanding of how plants and animals have dispersed and evolved. Additionally, they suggest that the core specimens can help us know how our global climate system works. Furthermore, because it has been surveyed extensively, Zealandia can serve as a test for computer models that scientists use to predict changes in our climate. All of these insights have the potential to impact life on Earth in the future. These two discoveries exemplify the potential for additional new discoveries in Earth's vast oceans. Clearly, the scientists involved in exploring both the deep-sea coral in the Atlantic and the large landmass in the Pacific are thrilled by their finds and the opportunity to learn more. Should we be too? Will the coral reef remain pristine now that it has been discovered? Would it be better if it had remained hidden? Does it matter if Zealandia is a continent or not? Does studying it further really have the potential to impact climate? Is this essential work that should continue? These are important questions about the ocean discoveries. The key is in our motivation to continue or not to explore our world.